all things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
A war being waged a half a world away is inflaming campuses here at home.
If Hamas is worse than ISIS, then Israel is worse than Nazi Germany.
At Cooper Union College in New York City, a group of Jewish students huddled inside a locked library during a pro-Palestinian protest a few days ago.
For about approximately 10 minutes, they were banging on the doors of the library.
At Cornell University, Jewish students were advised to avoid the kosher dining hall out of an abundance of caution due to online threats. New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
No one should be afraid to walk from their dorm or their dining hall to a classroom.
But Jewish students at Columbia University said today they are afraid in a way they weren't before.
We know now that there are students in our class that simply hate us because we're Jewish.
Julia Jassy runs a nonprofit called Jewish on Campus.
In your view, what are some of the mistakes that some universities are making?
I think it's a really important time to understand that there's a difference between political discourse and the harassment, the attacks on Jewish students on campus.
The sentiments aren't confined to colleges. A Las Vegas man was just charged with one count of threatening a federal official after he left a series of anti-Semitic voicemails vowing to assault, kidnap, or murder a U.S. senator. Sources tell CBS News the target was Nevada Democrat Jackie Rosen. And in Illinois, the man suspected of murdering a 6-year-old Palestinian-American boy, an alleged hate crime, made his first appearance in court today.
The Biden administration announced today it is detailing dozens of cybersecurity experts to help schools examine anti-Semitic and Islamophobic threats. And the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security are now working with campus police departments to track hate-related rhetoric.
Yes, but it's the Christians that are under attack. Don't forget that, right? Listen, I got to tell you, this is way off the charts. The amount of hatred that's being dispersed in our culture, it's been bad. It's been bad for really a long time now, but it's so heated right now. It's at a pandemic-like level. The hatred. It's so crazy. It's so amazingly crazy. I can't believe that people who normally, are aligned, people who, and I've been saying this since the beginning of this, this very sick pogrom that was filmed by a terrorist organization named Hamas in the kibbutz area of Israel, in the southern part of Israel. I've been saying it, and people are, where are you seeing this? Where are you seeing that? I mean, that's how the email started. Like, I don't see what you see, and I don't know why you keep saying that. And now, all of a sudden, everybody's starting to get hip to the fact that you got people that are roaming around this country targeting Jews. You got people that are roaming around this country, like literally taking down posters of the hostages. Why would you do that? Why would you spend your time taking down posters of children who were taken hostage by a terrorist group that are still held by the terrorist group? They're still held. I don't even understand this whole conversation that happens by at the behest of irresponsible people who have access to microphones. I don't understand what purpose it serves. But I will tell you, I knew from the beginning where it would end up. I knew it would end up with anti-Semitic, acts, and I knew it was going to end up with anti-Semitic emails and anti-Semitic. I was on Twitter last night for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I cannot believe what a sewer that place is. I can't believe the amount of trash that is that's being passed around. This is like. I mean, I've never seen anything quite this bad. And then you start looking around colleges and stuff, and you start to hear all of these stories about, it started George Washington University. I don't know if everybody remembers this because, it was just a couple days ago, and so much has happened since. But at GW, they actually put, the laser, I guess it's laser, light art. I don't know how else to put it, but they can project on buildings now, words that are in a slide or words that are cut out. And they put something like help us mourn our martyrs. And they were talking about Hamas. They were literally throwing in with a terrorist organization on a college campus. And I thought, now that's really far left. That's, it's what I've been talking about, that the far left has gone so far to the left that they're freaking communists now. You understand that, right? You know that they're Marxist. You understand that they are full on, on board. And whoever has to die, well, so be it. But I couldn't believe it, that I saw it. And now it's Cornell University. Cornell, which is upstate New York. It's a beautiful part of New York. It's Ithaca. It's a great little town. Just beautiful. Okay, Finger Lakes. Ithaca, they were actually saying, if you see a Jew, slit his throat. What? I can't. Harvard also anti-Semitic, like from the get. Larry Hogan, I don't know if you know this, but Larry Hogan, the former governor, was offered a fellowship at Harvard. He does teach, and he apparently had taught at other Ivy League schools, and Harvard offered him a fellowship. And now he's saying, I can't accept it because of the anti-Semitism that's all over that campus.
Well, I think it was just outrageous that it went unchallenged. This was pretty clear. This happened, these 35, 36 different student groups, all part of the Kennedy School, that were coming out supporting and cheering on the terrorist acts as infants were beheaded and women and children were raped and killed, and they dragged off elderly people. It's that was a very, very weak response. And again, I do believe the students have a right to free speech, but the university doesn't need to support and actively help promote this violent kind of extreme hate speech.
Governor, I thought this line was the most effective in your letter. There is no both sides when it comes to the murder, rape, and kidnapping of innocent women and children.
You think?
That's what you're saying. Draw the line.
Well, it is, and that's really why I stepped up. Look, I was very much looking forward to doing these fellowships at Harvard. I just finished a fellowship at the University of Chicago. I thought it was important to engage with the kids. I was doing one at the School of Public Health, talking about our nation-leading response to COVID, and to the Kennedy School, where I wanted to talk about lowering the temperature and doing away with, hateful rhetoric and toxic politics. So I didn't take this lightly. It was a tough decision, but I thought it was important at a time like this for leaders to stand up and speak out.
So Larry Hogan can't do a fellowship at Harvard, where he was going to do a fellowship to talk about lowering the temperature on our political rhetoric because of anti-Semitism. Wow. Wow. And it's Emory University in Atlanta, in Georgia. St. Louis has it. Maine has it. Columbia University in New York, in the city, in Manhattan. CUNY, C-U-N-Y, in Manhattan, which is like one of the most liberal schools ever. The CUNY Law School there. I mean, it's unbelievable. And they're saying, listen, if you see a Jew, kill them. Really, if you see a Jew, just kill them. I'm stunned by this. I really am stunned, because when you look at what went on in Ukraine and the abduction of children there, no one had a word to say about it. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.